Hey sis, welcome back to Black Girl SOS. It's your girl Snobby, and today we are talking about hair. But before we get into hair, I gotta address the capping over Serena's get up. First of all, she looked great. We stand Serena over here. Serena always looks great. I loved it. But a lot of commentary that I seen on the socials was like Serena invented this look. Here's what you're not gonna do. You're not going to not use your fucking Googles. You're not going to not give Queen Flojo the due. You're not going to not give the track girls the due. Not as long as this track girl is walking planet Earth. Okay, we got that look from the good sis Queen Flojo. Now, Serena did a fantastic job paying homage. I mean, honestly, Serena's body is amazing. If anybody was going to set that look out, it was the good sis Serena, and she did that. Looked stellar. But y'all not gonna act like Serena invented that shit. Like the capping was super heavy. No, the track girls been serving y'all looks for a very long time. So let's be clear and let's get it together. The track girls have literally made you motherfuckers comfortable also serving looks. So you will always give the track girls their due. Let's be really clear on that. I don't want to have to revisit this with y'all, but I will if I need to. Anyway, let's get into it about this hair. Gorilla Glue Girl woman is a buffoon. I'm sorry, not sorry. Like, yeah, we call spades a spade around here, even when we have to call each other out. It was stupidity, and the way y'all were capping on the socials, like there were like literal tweet think pieces on how this is how Black women are targeted. No, this is in fact not how Black women are targeted, and you are not going to bring Black women as an entity, as a unit, into one human being doing something completely asinine. Someone had wrote, they should not have made their product to look like a similar product that is commonly used by African American women. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know which product came first. I'm almost 3,000%. Gorilla Glue was around first. So who made whose product look like what, right? I, also, if we're keeping it 1,000, I never heard of Gorilla Gel until this woman put Gorilla Glue in her hair. I come from a family with a lot of construction workers in it. My mom's in construction. I'm very familiar with Gorilla Glue. I keep Gorilla Glue in my house. Okay, everyone, everyone in my family is familiar with Gorilla Glue. So the concept of someone even thinking that, oh, this is a go-to for my hair is asinine to me. It's completely insane. If you've ever used Gorilla Glue yourself, you know how super adhesive that product is. The minute you touch it, you will lose skin. Your fingerprints will forever be altered. Please do not use that as a means to commit crime. And if you do, don't say that you learned that shit here. But yeah. So the fact that sis thought, oh yeah, well, let me go ahead and spray this in my hair does not now make this a Black woman problem. It makes this a not bright woman's problem. And then everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people were just, oh, how can y'all be joking about this? And this is what I'm saying when I say y'all don't care about Black women. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. This woman sprayed Gorilla Glue in her hair, reasonably deduced that she could not get this Gorilla Glue out after trying to wash her hair multiple times. Um, and her first call was not to the hospital. She picked her phone up and made a TikTok. She picked her phone up and made a video about it. Why should I be more alarmed than she is? She's clearly not that alarmed. She's not that alarmed. She did not call 911. She made a video. She wanted the attention. She got it. That's the thing about attention. You can't dictate how it's going to play out because all attention isn't good attention. But if you want some attention, oh, I can assure you, you're going to get it. Sorry, guys, my allergies are killing me today. They're killing me often, but today is especially a crappy day. Anyway, So don't try to put the onus on the rest of us, like, oh, we don't care about black women because we're not kowtowing or catering to someone who did something completely idiotic, like put gorilla glue in their hair and then made a TikTok about it. No, y'all be capping, y'all be chasing clout, and then dumb shit happens to you, and then you want the rest of us to be up in arms. I got real shit going on in my life, and the last I checked, black people got real shit going on in these United States of America and the globe. So no, I'm not marching against Gorilla Glue. I'm certainly not protesting against Gorilla Glue because someone chose to be completely ridiculous and try to get a little name for herself. I was befuddled. Shout out to Dr. Obeng who got the Gorilla Glue out of her hair. Shout out to him for doing it for free. Um, I mean, that's just black excellence personified because I'll be honest, one, I didn't think it was ever going to be out of her hair. Two, I thought if someone was able to do it, that she would certainly be bald. I didn't think they would be able to preserve any of her hair. Additionally, I didn't think they would be able to preserve any of her hair follicles. So I also didn't think she'd be able to grow any hair anymore. And so I guess she may have reasonably deduced that as well, and started a GoFundMe because that's what everyone does now, right? Something happens, so I need to GoFundMe because I can't in any way sustain my own life of not having hair. So I need to GoFundMe. I just, I don't understand the logic behind her even setting up a GoFundMe. So apparently the GoFundMe was because she thought she wasn't going to have any hair and she was going to need to buy wigs. And the GoFundMe was it was supposed to be, the goal was to raise $1,500. Y'all, a GoFundMe for wigs and you're not a destitute cancer patient? Sis, I know you fucking lying. Not my hard earned money. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous. So then, true to cap form, true to cap. Honestly, this shit is new era. Like I now understand why the cap company is called New Era because this is a new era of fucking lunacy. People start donating, they're saying their donation is rooted in wanting to make sure she can afford surgery if that's what it comes to, or whatever else is attached to it. She ends up getting the surgery for free. She raises $20,000 approximately on GoFundMe. You know that you can turn GoFundMe off, right? Like if the goal was to raise $1,500 for these specific purposes, once you hit your goal, you can deactivate GoFundMe so that you don't receive any more donations. I'm trying to understand what is happening with this $20,000. Now, I have not looked back into it since the first video I seen after her surgery. So I am going to hope for the best that sis is doing something good with the money for others and not herself, or that she's returning the money because she didn't need to pay for that surgery and she still has her hair. Another thing that irked me was after the fact, she's like upset that she had to lose her ponytail. First of all, that Kanekalon ponytail you had, since you could buy another one. That's number one. And I don't know if I pronounced that synthetic hair shit right, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Number two, you should be mad that you lost your damn common sense because clearly you lost that a long time ago if you thought Gorilla Glue was the goddamn answer. Thirdly, the 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 I don't even know if entitlement's the right word, but it's really just, I don't know, more so like a sense of, I feel like a sense of privilege that after Dr. Obeng has done this really, really amazing thing for you for free, um, that your response would be about your damn ponytail. What? Do you know how many people probably really need a surgery right now, like for some real shit? And 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 you were blessed and fortunate enough to get a free surgery for your own stupidity. And I can't. And then one of the other things that really pissed me off, um, I've switched to the phone today, blue phone, same effect as the blue book. And y'all know when you see it that I mean business. Someone had wrote in their capping that this is also basically part and parcel to a lot of what Black women have to deal with to maintain what is, quote unquote presentable hair, quote unquote um, acceptable hair. And no, this is not what that is. Is that a real thing? Absolutely. Is that what this is? No. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me that you think what um what we're all arguing over and fighting about um when we say that corporate America tries to whitewash our look, that this hairstyle was aligned to that, right? Because it wasn't. Like, that's not a she didn't get that hairstyle because she's trying to fit into corporate America. She had a swoop and a ponytail that went past her damn hip, and it was to the side. I promise you, corporate America isn't trying to force that look on us. That's not the look they're trying to force on us. So don't try to make any like analogous comparison, because there isn't. There really isn't. Like stop capping. But that is a real thing. That is a real thing that we face with, trying to make our hair acceptable and presentable for corporate America and all of these other, white driven spaces. And so this past week I had the good benefit of being on being on a virtual fireside chat with two really amazing, impressive Black women. And it was hosted by the Northeast Women in Public Finance. Shout out to my girl at Bronx Budget Girl for the invites. It was amazing. I mean, they dropped a lot of gems, and it really just was an enriching experience. And the topic was how to progress basically, through the ranks of your job. While finance is obviously the majority of their backgrounds, it's applicable everywhere. It's applicable across industries. And they were just basically talking about, as Black women, how do we move up? How do we navigate these corporate cultures? How do we navigate these corporate spaces? So very inherently, hair came up as something that is always an issue with us. And Valerie, her name is Valerie Eric Rainford. First of all, super impressive woman. Look her up, Google her. I I I can't even thank her enough for the wealth of knowledge she imparted on us, and just the gems that she was dropping, and for being another Bronx girl. So shout out to Valerie for being dope. And this meeting in particular was like the conversation felt very geared towards upper management people and people who are looking to move further up in upper management and move into C suites and things like that. And I give you that background just because um, of where this conversation that I'm having with you is about to go. I want you to be clear that this is not, this conversation wasn't geared towards someone who's entry level, who probably is going to need to make a lot more sacrifices than someone who kind of has an established resume and kind of has a name in their industry or in their company and things like that, right? So just that it's an important piece of information just for context. So Valerie was talking about what Valerie does now. Is Valerie is I forget how she words it, but she's basically someone. She's a coach, and she's a talent coach, and like a career guide. I I forget the exact term that she uses for it, but that's essentially what she does, right? She helps people and companies, figure out how to retain good talent, how to best utilize good talent. She teaches individuals, how to how to sell yourself, how to market yourself is a better way to put it, excuse me. You know, how to navigate these spaces, how to move up in these spaces and the sorts. And she's doing well. Sis is definitely where the money resides. Let's be clear. And so she gave this example of I forget which woman she was talking about, but basically the woman was upper level C-suite and shows up in her braids, and she was like, you know, that's always an amazing thing for younger black women in those spaces to see. That is a thing that's to be valued, and that's also important. She was like, but it's not as important as the work. And my immediate mindset was, is she devaluing like the importance of being able to show up as yourself? And I was like, you know what, girl, shut up and listen. Just take everything in, because she may not be done with her train of thought yet, right? So as I'm listening, and also because it's something that I say often, so am I disagreeing with myself, right? I always harp on the work. I always focus on the work. And also I judge people who don't focus on the work. So so I was like, am I disagreeing with myself? It kind of put my own thoughts and ideals into a different light, and just kind of gave me pause, right? So she's going back into she's going through her what she's saying, and her point is, these are spaces that don't want us, right? These are not spaces that want us. And while it is very important to make those socio-political stands of being able to just show up as yourself, the way you are positioned to do that is by focusing on the work. You need to be able to sell your skill set more than your argument of, I have the right to show up as me. Yes, you should absolutely have the right to show up as you. In the year of our Lord 2021, we should not need laws about our hair. But here we are, and that exists, right? That's a real thing. There are literally laws to give Black women permission, or Black people permission, to come to work as themselves. Ridiculous the fuck as that is. So it's not to discount that, but her larger point was, you don't get to show up at all if you don't got the resume, if you don't got the substance to actually get in the door. You worried about a seat at the table, and I'm telling you, you're not even gonna get the address to the building where the table's at if you don't back it up with the work. And so I was glad that I just listened and kind of didn't try to chime in with my own questions and commentary, and just listened. Um, because I don't disagree with her. I, I I don't disagree with her at all. I think that, but I feel like those two things have to exist with the same energy. They got to exist with the same energy. You have to do the work. You have to make sure that you have the substantive background to back it up. Concurrently, you have to advocate for yourself as a person, the same way you advocate for yourself as a professional. So yeah, I have to be able to walk in the door and say, listen, I've been an attorney for this amount of years. I've worked in these spaces. I've done this, I've done that. This is my resume. This is my background. This is how you can verify that I am the talent that I say I am. Additionally, I also need to be able to come into a space and say, I am a Black woman. This is how I present myself. I don't present myself as, whatever version of you thinking a professional attorney should look like. I'm not randomly perming my hair for your edification. If I want to perm my hair, then by all means, I'm going to go ahead and get the creamy crack and go on about my day. But if it's not something I want to do, then me choosing to wear my hair in its natural coily state should not deem me unprofessional, and I have to advocate for that as well. So I feel like those two things need to happen concurrently, because these are real issues that we face. The problem for me became when we try to make Gorilla Glue's girl issue that issue, and I feel like it does us a disservice when we do simple minded shit like that. It doesn't help us continue to advocate for black women being able to show up as black women at work when we try to stretch foolishness and align it with a real issue that persists in our communities and in our demographic rather. So that shit really really hit my nerves. But Valerie gave this really she gave this great example of the many ways white corporate America loses their talent. Um, like I said, she has a lot of corporate clients also, and she works with them on retaining their talent. And a lot of ways that they lose their talent is by judging what they are uncomfortable with because it's unknown to them. Now, I think at this point, again, the year of our Lord 2021, you being unfamiliar with what Black people look like in varying ways is like in varying ways. We don't all look alike. Like everyone's hair isn't short, blonde, and curly. Everyone's hair isn't long, black, and luscious. Everyone's not, a fucking whatever the case may be. All blacks are not gingers. So, like, like we come in so many styles. I feel like at this point, you've seen enough to know that. But so she tells the story of one of her corporate clients, and the corporate client is saying that this woman who is, now in an executive position doesn't, or not executive position, I think she was like mid management position, but that she doesn't fit in. This is a very common one. She doesn't fit the culture here. Is the culture work? Because I came to work. So, huh? So and she said it more than once, and then eventually, Valerie sat with her, and she was like, "Well, what do you mean she doesn't fit the culture?" And every way that the woman described her not fitting the culture was aesthetics. It was all aesthetics. Oh, she wears her hair this particular way. She accents her outfits in these particular ways. She wears this kind of jewelry, and everything about it was screaming, "This is a black woman." Like sis shows up black every day, all day, unapologetically. I wish I knew her personally. I would send her an edible arrangement to her goddamn desk, and it would be draped in kente. So Valerie says, well, let's all get together. Like, let me meet this woman and see what's really happening here. So they sit down. She meets the woman. Valerie meets the woman for lunch, and she's brilliant. She is brilliant. These are Valerie's actual words. That woman is brilliant. She said she had her hair was in a natural state, and I think she had like a shell in her hair or something. And she said she had some really cute, like African inspired earrings. She was like, honestly, I would have worn those earrings. I thought they were really cute. And she was like, when I spoke to her, she knows what she's talking about. She knows the work, she knows the job, she knows what she's doing. She's a really brilliant woman. So she moves, she further goes on and says, so when I sit down again with just the executive, she said, you lose her, that's losing a lot of talent. That woman is brilliant. And because you can't get past the fact that she looks like what she is, which is a black woman, you're saying that she doesn't fit the culture. So what is the culture? What is the culture? And that's the issue all the time, not part and parcel. That is the issue in totality all the time. That really what they're saying is that the culture is to look a way that's accommodating. We really don't care that you're fucking smart. If you, we don't care that you're smart if you won't still comply with what we want you to look like. And so she does a lot of work just in that space of trying to be genuine and authentic, or teach companies how to be genuine and authentic in what diversity really is. At least, I don't want to say at least, I'll end the sentence there. She does a lot of work in trying to, make it substantive and authentic in companies that are, alleging to bring, DEI into their spaces. And I thought it was interesting because she goes on to say that she'd always wanted to be in the C-suite, and she eventually, she realized that the only way, or not the only way, but the way she was really, or yeah, maybe she may have said the only way. I don't want to misquote her, um, but how I remember it is her saying that she realized, like even as far up as she had moved, that the only way she was going to get the C seat that she wanted was to create her own, and then which is why she ended up leaving the public finance place and creating her own business, which is extremely successful. Like I said, this is where the money resides, and she is the CEO, so she had to create her C-suite to get it. And I mean, that's going to be a real thing for a lot of us, myself included, um, if those are the kind of seats we want. But for those of us who, are still navigating 9 to 5 corporate spaces, that's a real thing. That's a real issue. That's a real piece of shit to target. And then to have people, trying to make it seem like Gorilla Glue Girl is aligned to what we're going through at work is absurd. Like, we're not the same. We're not doing the same thing. These things are not the same. Stop the cap. Like, I need it to stop. I cannot take it. I cannot tolerate it. I have no patience for it. Like, I'm so overwhelmed with people, people's comfort with the lack of intelligence. I'm overwhelmed by it, and I'm annoyed with it. We gotta stop making it okay to do stupid shit. Like you just no. No, and at the very least, we've got to call stupid shit what stupid shit is. This is what I mean when I say we need to be whole people. We can't pretend that everything is a part of the movement. Everything isn't. This woman doing something stupid like that is not synonymous with someone who's working really hard at their job and is brilliant at their job and is in jeopardy of losing their job because someone doesn't like the natural state of their hair. Those two things are not the same. Those two things are not the same. And we devalue the real fight. We we take away from the real fight when we try to bring those things together. It's stupid, it's unhelpful, and it speaks to a serious lack of comprehension. And I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to leave that right there because comprehension is a whole other topic. That being said, please do not put Gorilla Glue in your goddamn hair. Please continue to advocate for yourself to be able to come to work as the Black woman you are and not needing to whitewash your look in any way that you are not comfortable whitewashing your look. Um, yeah. And until next time. Oh, almost forgot to remind you, if you haven't copped your Black Girl SOS merch, make sure you do www.brandsnobby.com. Follow us on Instagram at Black Girl SOS. Girl with the Y, not with an I. And the link is in the bio to everything you need so that you can catch the podcast on any platform that you prefer and access to the merch. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Peace.